I'd like to call the order, the special meeting of the President Board of Trustees, Cook and Will Counties, being held on Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022, at 6 p.m. Everyone, please stand for a Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. You call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady.
Present.
Trustee Brennan.
Present.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Trustee Mahoney.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes, here.
President Clark.
Present. Item number 1, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider approval of the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Any comments from the board? Comments from the public? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Next, item number 2, I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider approval of the minutes of the special village board meeting held on April 12, 2022, and the regular village board meeting held on April 19, 2022.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dennis. Any questions from the board?
I think it was Bill.
Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 2. Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan.
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have item number 3. I'd like to ask the board consider proclaiming May 14, 2022 as a Proxy Awareness Day in the Village of Tinley Park.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Consider approving May 14, 2022 as a Proxy Awareness Day in the recognition of many children worldwide with childhood apraxia of speech. Whereas childhood apraxia of speech causes children to have significant difficulty learning to speak and is among the most severe speech deficits in children. And whereas while the act of learning to speak comes effortlessly to most children, those with apraxia endure a lengthy struggle. And whereas without appropriate speech therapy intervention, children with apraxia are placed at high risk for secondary impacts in reading, writing, spelling, and other school-related skills. And whereas that such primary and secondary educational impacts diminish future independence and employment opportunities if not resolved or improved. And whereas most children with apraxia of speech will learn to communicate with their very own voices if they receive early intervention and appropriate, intensive, and frequent speech therapy. And whereas it is imperative that there be greater public awareness about childhood apraxia of speech in Tinley Park among community members, physicians, education professionals, insurance providers, policymakers, and elected officials. And whereas those aforementioned community leaders are encouraged to recognize the critical need to provide adequate speech therapy and related services so that the impact of this disorder is minimized and that thousands of affected children are more fully empowered to grow into flourishing adult citizens. And whereas our highest respect goes to these children as well as their families for their effort, determination, and resilience in the face of such obstacles. And whereas many states, cities, and villages recognize May 14th as a Proxy Awareness Day. Now therefore be it resolved by the President of the Board of Trustees, or the Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that Friday, May 14, 2022 be designated as a Proxy Awareness Day in the Village of Tinley Park, and that the village urges all citizens to work within and beyond their communities to increase the awareness and understanding of childhood apraxia of speech. Approve this third day of May 2022, signed by myself, the village president, clerk Nancy O'Connor, trustees Bill Brady, Diane Galante, Michael Mueller, William Brennan, Dennis Mahoney, and Colleen Sullivan. Our apraxia, you want to come up?
Try to sneak around.
Can you scoot a little bit to that way? Perfect, awesome,
Now this guy
thank
wants
you.
to give it.
Yeah, she and I are like rock stars here. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
It's so cute. Nice job.
I have a little thing, it's not a big thing. Okay, cool, okay, sure, thank you. Thanks, that's not long. All right. Well, thank you so much. That was a big deal that Mr. Parker came on up, so thank you. My name is Leah Herman, and I'm the mom of Mr. Parker over there. I wanted to say thank you very much for having my family and I here tonight, and again, for proclaiming Saturday, May 14th, 2022, is Apraxia Awareness Day. This is the 4th year that I have contacted the Village of Tinley Park to make this a special day to raise awareness for childhood apraxia of speech. Not a lot of people are aware or have even heard of what apraxia is. Childhood apraxia of speech is a motor speech disorder. Children with childhood apraxia of speech have great difficulty planning and producing the movements of the tongue, lips, jaw, and palate that are necessary for intelligible speech. Frequent intensive speech therapy is the only treatment. My family and I first attended the village board meeting 3 years ago after Parker was recently diagnosed just shy of turning 3 years old. We were just beginning our journey, and since then he's made great gains. He doesn't shut up. It's wonderful, and we're extremely proud of all of his accomplishments. Our apraxia star is here tonight, and I know of other apraxia stars in Tinley Park and in the surrounding towns as well. I was also fortunate to be a part of the Chicago Walk for Apraxia, as the planning committee that we hosted in Frankfurt back in the fall, and we hope to do it again in the area as well this coming fall. It's important to raise awareness, and I thank you again for having my family and I here tonight, and again for proclaiming May 14th as Apraxia Awareness Day in the village of Tinley Park. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, item number 4, Clerk O'Connor.
Consider proclaiming June 3rd, 2022 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the village of Tinley Park.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. 5 minutes.
Oh, I forgot. Recognizing Friday, June 3rd, 2022 as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the village of Tinley Park. Whereas every day more than 110 Americans are killed by gun violence, alongside more than 200 who are shot and wounded, and on average there are nearly 16,000 gun homicides every year. And whereas Americans are 26 times more likely to die by gun homicide than people in other high-income countries. And whereas in Illinois has 1,505 gun deaths every year with a rate of 11.9 deaths per 100,000 people, Illinois has the 35th highest rate of gun deaths in the U.S. And whereas gun homicides and assaults are concentrated in cities with more than half of all firearm-related gun deaths in the nation occurring in 127 cities. And whereas cities across the nation, including Tinley Park, are working to end the senseless violence with evidence-based solutions. And whereas protecting public safety in the communities they serve is the mayor's highest responsibility. And whereas support for the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens goes hand in hand with keeping guns away from people with dangerous histories. And whereas mayors and law enforcement officers know their communities best, are the most familiar with local criminal activity and how to address it, and are best positioned to understand how to keep their citizens safe. And whereas gun violence prevention is more important than ever as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to exacerbate gun violence after more than 2 years of increased gun sales. increased calls to suicide and domestic violence hotlines, and an increase in city gun violence. And whereas in January 2013, Hadiah Pendleton was tragically shot and killed at age 15, and on June 3rd, 2022, to recognize the 25th birthday of Hadiah Pendleton, born June 2nd, 1997, people across the United States will recognize National Gun Violence Awareness Day and wear orange in tribute to Hadiah Pendleton and other victims of gun violence and the loved ones of those victims. And whereas the idea was inspired by a group of Hadiah's friends who asked their classmates to commemorate her life by wearing orange, they chose this color because hunters wear orange to announce themselves to other hunters when out in the woods, and orange is a color that symbolizes the value of human life. And whereas anyone can join this campaign by pledging to wear orange on June 3rd, the first Friday in June in 2022, to help raise awareness that gun violence, and whereas we renew our commitment to reduce gun violence and pledge to do all we can to keep firearms out of the wrong hands and encourage responsible gun ownership to help keep our children safe. Now therefore be it resolved by the President, Clerk, and Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that the first Friday of June 3rd, 2022, be designated as National Gun Violence Awareness Day in the Village of Tinley Park in recognition of the value of human life and violence prevention efforts. Approved this third day of May, 2022, signed by the President of Tinley Park, Michael Glatz, myself, the Clerk, Trustees William Brady, Trustee William Brennan, Trustee Diane Galante, Trustee Dennis Mahoney, Trustee Michael Mueller, and Trustee Colleen Sullivan.
Thank you. You got another one. Any comments from the board? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, item number 5, Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-040, recognizing May as Building Safety Month in the Village of Tinley Park.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Go, Mike.
I'm just going to go ahead and read the resolution. So, whereas the Village of Tinley Park, Illinois, Cook and Will counties is committed to recognizing that our growth and strength depends on the safety and preservation of our homes, buildings, and infrastructure, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. And whereas our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the dedication of vigilant guardians, building safety officials, fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and other in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And whereas these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, a non-for-profit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. And whereas these modern building codes include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornado, wildlife fires, floods, earthquakes. And whereas Building Safety Month is sponsored by the International Code Council to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown protectors of public safety, our local code officials who assure us the safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. And whereas Safety for All Building Codes in Action, the theme for Building Safety Month 2022, encourage us all to raise awareness about planning for safe and sustainable construction, career opportunities in building safety, understanding disaster mitigation, energy conservation, and creating a safe and abundant water supply for all our benefit. And whereas each year in observance to the Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided to all of us by local and state building departments, fire prevention bureaus, and federal agencies in protecting lives and property. And now, therefore, be it resolved by the President, Clerk, and Board of Trustees of Village of Tinley Park, Illinois, Cook and Will counties, on behalf of our 55,000 citizens herein represented, that It will hereby be proclaimed that the month of May 2022 is Building Safety Month. This is adopted this day, 3rd day of May 2022, and it's signed by Michael Glotz, the president, Nancy O'Connor, our clerk, and the rest of the village board.
Thank you. Mr. Mueller? Any comments from the board?
They should put a period every once in a while on these things.
Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 5, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have item number 6. Clerk O'Connor.
Consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-039, recognizing May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Municipal Clerks Recognition Week in the Village of Tinley Park.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. You're done with your X marks?
I know.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Consider recognizing May 1st through May 7th, 2022 Municipal Clerks Week and extend appreciation to the members of our clerk's office and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Comments from the board? Madam Clerk, please call the roll. Oh, sorry.
So Resolution 2022-R-039, a resolution recognizing May 1st through May 7th, 2022 is Municipal Clerks Week. Whereas the office of the municipal clerk, a time-honored and vital part of local government, exists throughout the world, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk is the oldest among public servants, and whereas the office of the municipal clerk provides the professional link between the citizens, the local governing bodies, and agencies of government at other levels, and whereas municipal clerks have pledged to be ever mindful of their neutrality and impartiality, rendering equal services to all, and whereas the municipal clerk serves as the information center on function of local government and community, and whereas municipal clerks continually strive to improve the administration of the affairs of the office of the professionals municipal clerk through participation in education programs, seminars, workshops, and the annual meetings of their state, provincial, country, and international professional organizations, and whereas it is most appropriate that we recognize the accomplishments of the office of the professional municipal clerk, now therefore be it resolved by the President, Clerk, and Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Illinois, Cook and Will counties, on behalf of over 55,000 citizens herein represented, to recognize the week of May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Municipal Clerks Week, and further extend appreciation to our municipal clerk, Nancy O'Connor, and to all municipal clerks for the vital services they perform and their exemplary dedication to the communities they represent. Adopted this 3rd day of May 2022, signed by President Klotz, myself, trustees Brady, Galante, Mueller, Brennan, Mahoney, and Sullivan.
Thank you. Comments from the board?
No. And our deputy clerk, Laura Goodell.
Yes.
The most important one. in this office, Let's be honest here.
Call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 6, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 7, I'm going to ask trustee Brennan to read.
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-041, recognizing May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Public Service Recognition Week in the Village of Tinley Park.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, trustee Mueller. Consider recognizing May 1st through May 7th, Public Service Recognition Week in honor of the millions of public employees at the federal, state, county, and local level. This resolution will be available for adoption, or is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Nope, I can read the resolution.
Go ahead.
Resolution 2022-R-041, a resolution recognizing May 1st through May 7th, 2022 as Public Service Recognition Week in the Village of Tinley Park. Whereas Americans are served every single day by public servants at the federal, state, and county and city levels. These unsung heroes do the work that keeps our nation working. Their tireless efforts are especially critical today during the COVID-19 pandemic, and whereas public employees take not only jobs, but oaths, and whereas many public servants, including military personnel, police officers, firefighters, Border Patrol officers, embassy employees, healthcare professionals, and others, risk their lives each day in service to the people of the United States and around the world. And whereas public servants include teachers, doctors, and scientists, train conductors and astronauts, nurses and safety inspectors, laborers, computer technicians, and social workers, and countless other occupations. Day in and day out, they provide the diverse services demanded by the American people of their government with the efficiency and integrity. And whereas without these public servants at every level, continuity would be impossible in a democracy that regularly changes its leaders and its elected officials. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the President and the Board of Trustees of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will Counties, Illinois, that May 1st through May 7th, 2022, be designated as Public Service Recognition Week in the Village of Tinley Park. All citizens are encouraged to recognize the accomplishments and contributions of government employees at all state levels, federal, state, county, and village. Adopted this third day of May 2022, signed by Michael W. Glotz, the village president, Nancy O'Connor, the village clerk, and trustees William Brady, William Brennan, Diane Galante, Dennis Mahoney, Michael Mueller, and Colleen Sullivan.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item 7, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 8, receive presentations of the Tinley Park Business Spotlight, Papa's Gourmet Popcorn, and Banging Gavel Brews by President Glotz and Clerk O'Connor. Clerk, would you like to go first?
Papa's Gourmet Popcorn's new Tinley Park location at 6741 South Street offers several flavors popped to order, including Kickin' Jalapeno, Sriracha, Birthday, and Barbecue, in addition to their award-winning caramel flavor, which is popped every 10 minutes, every day, in 100% coconut oil. We are pleased to welcome Tracy Smith, owner of Papa's Gourmet Popcorn.
I don't see her here.
Maybe not.
She's busy making corn.
Oops. Okay, on to the next one.
Item number 2, before we go into it, I just want to thank Jim for your long journey. You have stuck with this project longer than anyone possibly could in any project across the Midwest, and just want to thank you for your dedication and all your historical society red tape you went through. So, thank you. So, Banging Gavel Brews opened the Vogue Beer Garden in 2021 and are gearing up for a full-size brewery and restaurant in the historic Vogue building. Please join me in welcoming Jim, president of the Banging Gavel Brews.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you to the rest of the board for inviting us here this evening. I'm accompanied by my co-conspirator, Kyle O'Connor, and more importantly, our head brewer, J.T. Ray. As you alluded to, Mr. President, this has been quite a challenging endeavor, one that I never envisioned would be as challenging as it was. I expected it to be somewhat challenging, but not to the extent it was. But I think that we'll all find at the end that it was well worth the journey. As you suggested, we're reopening the beer garden that we had opened last summer, and we're projecting to open that on Thursday, May 26th, which is right before the Memorial holiday weekend, and we'll continue that through the end of September. And we start, I believe it's this Monday, that we're going to, our contractors are staging onto the site to start construction for the main building, which will encompass the brewery and the restaurant. So we're very excited about that. I know there's several new faces anyway on the board from the first time I appeared here back in probably 2016 or 17. Yeah.
Myself and Bill Brady.
Yes.
Yeah. I was a lot younger, and
So were we.
yeah, had more hair, and the hair that I had was a little bit lighter or a little bit darker than it is now. But But no, we're very excited about it. You know, this is obviously a building that we take a lot of pride in, and we feel a huge sense of responsibility in making sure that it's done the right way, so that, you know, generations of, you know, Tinley Park citizens and surrounding communities can be proud of it and create a lot of memories in the future there. So just again, I wanted to thank everybody here for their patience, and together with staff who has been invaluable and patient in working with us through this process. I'm sure there was more than one discussion about whether or not we could actually, you know, pull this off, and I don't blame anybody for thinking that, because I had my doubts at times too. But you know, we stuck with it, and we're, you know, I'm sure that we'll all be very pleased with the end result. So if anybody has any questions or thoughts on their mind,
No, I have history with the building too, because first time I walked in it was 1994. That's where my wife and I went for our loan when we moved to Tinley when we got married. So-
okay.
My real estate attorney was there too, so.
Really?
This thing was 95.
So the building does have history.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you went through, and 99% of the people would have just walked away, and you didn't. So thank you. Good, the residents support you and their staff, and we're looking forward to when you're finally open.
Very good. So hopefully we'll see some of you this summer in the meantime.
Well, now that you know about Mike and his bride, you need to put a plaque there. That makes it more historic. Okay, one more historic plaque.
We're good.
And two, it would have been a great night if Tracy showed up. We would have had popcorn and beers.
Well, I'm
Been a good
disappointed
night.
myself, because I actually, you know, did reach out to them through, you know, social media, because I think having a beer popcorn pairing would be a pretty cool idea.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
so I'll reach out to Tracy again.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot, I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.
Have a good day.
Congratulations. Next, we have item number 9, consider the appointment of Zachary Grumman to the position of maintenance technician.
So moved.
Second?
Thank you. Zachary has been selected as the most qualified candidate for the Public Works Street Division opening. He has nearly 3 years of maintenance and equipment operation work experience. He holds a bachelor's degree in law enforcement and justice administration. I'd like to ask the board to please consider appointing Zachary to the position of maintenance technician effective May 4th, 2022. Any comments from the board? No? Zachary, you want to say a couple words?
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to say thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a team member of the Village of Tinley Park. I'm really excited to get started and experience all the opportunities that I'll get to have in my new career. So thank you all very much.
Great. You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Zach. Do you guys and your family want to take a photo up front? You guys could take a photo? Yeah. We'll stand to the side.
Ready?
Oh, come on.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Zach. We didn't vote on it yet.
No, we didn't. Better call him back.
Yeah.
Madam Clerk, you want to call the roll, please? Item number 9?
Roll call for item 9, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 10. I'd like to ask the board for a motion to consider the following staff appointments for 2023 fiscal year.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr.
Oh,
second it.
second?
Thank you, Colleen. You
Sorry,
beat me to it. Following staff appointments are being made for the 2023 fiscal year. Patrick Carr, Village Manager. Buddy. Hannah Littman, Assistant Village Manager. Donna Framke, Marketing Director. Kimberly Clark, Community Development Director. Matthew Walsh, Police Chief. Stephen Klotz, Fire Service Administrator. John Urbanski, Public Works Director. Angela Rigo, Human Resource Director. Lisa Cordum, Emergency Management Communications Director. Peterson, Johnson, and Murray, Chicago LLC, Village Attorneys. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 10, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Abstain.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Well, that motion carries, 5 yeas and 1 abstain. Next, we have item number 11. I would like to ask the board to please consider appointing our new mayor pro tem, trustee Michael G. Mueller, to serve as president pro tem for the 23 fiscal year.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dennis. Consider concurring with the recommendation of President Glotz and appoint trustee Michael G. Mueller to serve as president pro tem for the 2023 fiscal year. Is there any comments from the board?
I have one.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank Bill Brennan for the job that he's done this past year. He's done a great job in running our meetings, and congratulations to what you've done.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Bill.
I second that.
Yeah.
I third that.
Thank you, Nancy.
How much did you pay him? You were at Jack's. No. Thanks,
No.
Bill.
No.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Happy to serve, and I'm looking forward to helping this guy out.
Thank you, Mr. Mueller, for stepping up to wanting to take the mayor pro tem spot.
No problem.
Thank you.
Happy to help.
Michael Mueller's always there to help. Any comments from the board? Questions from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 11, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. Next, we have item number 12. I would like to ask the board to consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-0-033, amending Title III, Chapter 30, Section 40 of the Tinley Park Municipal Code entitled Standing Committees.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
A second?
Thank you. The ordinance amends the standing committee structure. This ordinance is eligible for adoption and was discussed at the COW previously. Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll for item 12.
Roll call for item 12, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
No.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries, 5 yeas, 1 no. Item 13, I'd like to ask the board to consider the following standing committee assignments. What? I need a motion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Consider concurring with the recommendation of President Glotz and appoint the following standing committee assignments. They're all listed below, which was discussed at the committee of the whole. Well, not the actual committee. So it'll be trustee Colleen Sullivan will be finance. Trustee Bill Brennan will be public safety. Diane Galante will be budget committee. Trustee Bill Brady, administration and legal committee. And trustee Dennis Mahoney, Public Works Committee, and Economic Development Committee, which is what the name used to be before Mayor Vandenberg changed it, will be trustee Michael Mueller. Any comments from the board? Comments from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 13, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everybody. Next, we have item 14. May I have a motion to consider approval of the consent agenda items?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Second?
Thank you. Consent agenda items have been publicly posted and available for preview according to the Illinois Open Meetings Act. Would anyone from the board like any of these items removed from the consent agenda? Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item 14, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 15, trustee Mueller, please.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-030, granting a special use permit for a tobacco store to Drip Drop Smokes at 17133 Harlem Avenue.
Is there a second?
Second?
Thank you, Dennis. Go ahead, Mike.
Drip Drop Smokes requests a special use permit to operate a tobacco store at 17133 Harlem Avenue in the B3 zoning district. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 21st, 2022, voted 6-0 to recommend approval of the special use in accordance with the listed plans and findings of facts in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 15, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item 16, trustee Mueller, please.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-031, granting a special use for a substantial deviation for additional signage from the Park Center PUD at 15920 Harlem Avenue. McDonald's is at that address.
Thank you. Any comments from the board?
I get a second?
Oh, you didn't second. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks. Go ahead, Mike.
So the petitioner is seeking approval for an additional wall sign for the recently renovated McDonald's restaurant. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on April 21st, 2022, and voted 7-0 to recommend approval of the special use in accordance with the plans listed and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight as well.
Thank you, Mike. Just want to thank Community Development Department for the helping the owner of McDonald's get this, work on them with the sign.
And the Plan Commission did a fantastic job going through it all, so
Thank
it's
you.
good.
Plan Commission's gone through more signs than anyone else.
They love their signs.
Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item 16, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item 17, trustee Mahoney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I move we consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-042, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Steve Spees Construction for Greenway Boulevard water meter vault improvements.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. This project consists of constructing a new meter vault due to the current location being in conflict when the 80th Avenue Road Improvement project. Consider awarding a contract to Stephen Spees Construction in the amount of $1,117,842. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting held prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis. Any comments from the board? Any questions from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 17, trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 18, trustee Mahoney.
Thank you. I move we consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-036, approving a Fourth Amendment PCS site agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and and STC 2 LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, by and through its attorney, in fact, Global Signal Acquisitions LLC.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Go ahead, Dennis.
Thanks. To allow for additional ground space area, approve a proposed amendment of existing cell tower lease agreement located at 7850 183rd Street with STC 2 LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. Consider adopting the Fourth Amendment of the existing cell tower lease agreement with STC 2 LLC, a Delaware limited liability company. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting held prior to this meeting.
Thank you,
This
Dennis.
resolution is eligible for adoption.
Any comments from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item 18. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
The motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Item number 19, Trustee Mahoney, please.
Thank you. I move we consider adopting Resolution 2022-R-043, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and City Escape Garden and Design, LLC, for landscape planners and beautification service.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Go ahead,
Thanks.
Dennis.
The service contract is for a qualified contractor to coordinate and to provide seasonal planner installation and maintenance services consisting of approximately 70 planters and 140 hanging baskets. Additional plant replacement where needed is also included in the contract. This would be the first year out of a possible 3-year contract. Consider awarding the contract to City Escape Garden and Design, LLC, in the amount of $215,702. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole meeting held previous to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Dennis. Any comments from the board? Any?
Will it warm up when we put these in?
Hopefully.
Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item 19. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 20, Trustee Mahoney.
Thank you. I move we consider adopting ordinance 2022-0-032, amending Chapter 54, Title 5 regarding responsible bidder requirements on public works projects.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Go ahead,
Thank you.
Dennis.
Staff has reviewed the responsible bidder ordinance, which is part of our purchasing policy, and has some verbiage suggestions for the attached version. There have been a few changes that were recommended by the Labor Advisory Committee. The final version will include same additional changes to comply with state law. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Dennis. Any comments or questions from the board? Any comments from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item 20. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
That motion carries. Thank you, everyone. Next, we have item number 21, receive comments from staff. Pat, can you put the microphone a little closer to you, Pat? Sure. Thanks.
I would just like to add, we had the resolution for the public service week. And again, I just want to thank all of the employees within the village for all of their hard work and dedication. Again, if it's not without them, we can't be successful here. Great job, and looking forward to the rest of the festivities during the week.
Thanks, Pat. Anyone else from there?
I'd like to welcome back Chief Walsh after his tonsillectomy.
Are you speaking, Matt?
Yeah, just want to bring everybody up to speed. I want to thank everyone during the budget process for allowing us to get 2 canines. They're currently being trained. They were named when they came over from Germany, so we're not responsible for the names. One dog is named Ron, and that's assigned to Officer Merman. The other one is Helmet, which is assigned to Officer Sweeney. The training is going very well. It's individual training. It's just our 2 officers with the trainer. The dogs are very good. They're from Germany. Their pedigree is impeccable. They're outstanding dogs, and everything's working out well so far. So thank you for all your efforts in helping us get these canines.
Thank you. I thought we were going to name it Matt. Thought we were gonna name it Matt.
I thought so too, but they named him, they came named.
Thanks, Matt. Any comments from the right side?
Yes, I would just like to share that tomorrow our benches in the avenue are going out, so we're super excited. I think we've got the one nice weather day this week, but the street will come alive when they come in. And then, of course, tomorrow morning is our economic forecasting breakfast featuring a State of the Village report by the mayor, as well as a keynote speech by the president of the Illinois Civic Federation. I'm looking forward to that as well.
Thank you. Next, we have item number 22, receive comments from the board. Anyone from the board have any comments? Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, just regarding item number 8 today on our business spotlight, it was great to see a local small business here. And remind everyone that May 1st started National Small Business Week, and remind everybody to shop local and at our local small businesses. So just wanted to bring that up.
Thanks, Mike. Anyone else from the board have any comments?
I already gave.
Bill, you sure?
I gave mine.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
So as you're all aware, the budget was passed at the previous meeting. That budget was provided to all board members on 3/12, so March 12th, 1 month before the hearing, and the actual vote on the budget was the following week. At the April 19th meeting, Trustee Galante states that she sent questions concerning the budget to staff, and those questions were not answered, so she stated that she would be voting no. She also stated that there were items in the budget that she had never heard of and were not discussed with her. What I would like to say is there were a couple of executive sessions that she was not at. Some of those items were most likely discussed during that executive session. I do know the mayor offered twice through email to meet with her to give her an update on those executive sessions and what took place. Also, there's also, of course, the ability to contact and make an appointment with the clerk's office to come in and read the minutes as well as listen to them. She did none of those. She did not respond to any of that. What I have an issue with is she accused staff of not answering her emails. After that meeting 2 weeks ago, I chose to ask staff if that was true and if her emails and questions were answered. They were kind enough to supply me with all the emails and their responses and answers to all of her questions. I find it incredibly disheartening that someone would sit on this board and accuse and make accusations of staff, knowing that it's not true. The emails and the answers are here to every one of the questions. And yet she sits on this dais and accuses, harasses, and bullies staff. It's wrong, and it is unfair. At the April 5th meeting, she made the same accusation against Mayor Glotz, that he went into the police station, got information, and provided it to a resident. I asked her at that meeting to provide me with proof and evidence. She stated she would. I then have followed up with 4 emails to her asking for that proof and evidence. And not only has she not responded, she hasn't even acknowledged those emails were sent or provided me with proof or evidence. And yet she will sit up here and whatever narrative she's trying to use, whether it's using it as a political soapbox, and she will accuse staff of not answering her, but yet she will not respond to me. Some would call that ironic, some would call it hypocritical. You know, it's really disheartening. She wonders, she questioned why so many staff members had left. might want to look in the mirror. When you make accusations, unfounded, bullying staff, there's, not surprising why they leave. Not surprising at all. This has to stop. We have incredible employees in this village that work so hard. And to be dismissed like that and lied about is just truly, truly disheartening to them and to all of us. It just needs to stop today. No more sitting up here making accusations. No more sitting up here lying. Enough. It's time to move on. Thank you.
Any other questions from the board?
I will let.
Can you hold on 1 second? Go ahead, Laura.
First of all, let me start by saying I take offense to what you say to me. I have worked 35 years in accounting. I just finished a career that I was the last person out because of the trust my company has in me. I have worked budgets. I have worked Sarbanes-Oxley. I do audits. I have never been so insulted in my life. I absolutely sent emails to Brad. Brad's last response to me was, patience. We'll get back to you. Nobody got back to me. I don't care. I don't know. Please, I have the floor. I sent emails multiple times. The first meeting you sent out, when I said I couldn't be here, there was nothing on the agenda. I was used to, every year, hearing from your staff what their plan was to get to our strategic plan. The strategic plan was created by most of the members on this board, and we have been following that strategic plan. I have watched every department manager follow it. I don't know why you keep acting like I'm harassing people, because besides Pat Carr, who filed a harassment claim against me that was later found baseless by HR, investigation was done, it came back baseless. I never shared that because I thought it was, it should be confidential. Yes, Mayor Glotz did send me an email and offered to meet with me, and then sent me 5 emails degrading me afterwards, saying that I'm untrustworthy and he can't be alone with me. So I'm not going to keep coming back and asking for help when I'm just keep being kicked at. I don't know who would keep coming back. But I sit on this board, elected by the people in this town to do a job that I have done for my entire life, my entire career. Find somebody in my business world. Just because Nancy, who wasn't elected, was appointed up here, who continues to say I don't supply her with information she really has I don't even know what she's asking for. I never said that the chief told a neighbor. I never said that. No, I don't know why you're making those comments. I've asked for resumes from you and from the newer hired people, and I have yet to get any responses. I send so many emails that go unresponded in the town. I do the best I can, but I will no longer just vote yes because I want to go along. I was very uncomfortable with the budget. Your strategic plan no longer matches. None of the management ever spoke to the board to explain to us how they were going to meet those needs of the people. That just didn't happen. It happened every other year, maybe not the year of COVID. So I was expecting those meetings. I took that packet and I read every page and I wrote notes. I asked Brad why we were off by $3 million in many numbers during the meeting, the public meeting. And he said there were errors. He would get back to me, but he didn't. I asked a lot of questions. Hannah, are you saying that I don't even want to put you on the spot. It is an outright lie of what Nancy is doing. Nancy has lied about my son attacking her. Show me that proof, Nancy. There's a lot of lies that go on, but I'll be darned if you're going to tell me that my career, that I've just spent 45 years really in the same industry, being promoted every year, moving up and being asked to do a lot of additional projects by my employer for all these years, but for some reason here, there's an issue. I don't know what employees are saying they're being harassed by me, besides the claim that Pat Carr made against me. I don't really have that much interaction with people. Yes, it gets very frustrating that I can't no longer go to the admin person that used to help me very nicely. I now have to get permission from the village manager for everything I do. I have great ideas. I believe I could be a huge asset to this board, but I'm excluded. I'm looked at like I'm lying. I don't even know why. I'm insulted, and I don't even know what to say. I'm insulted. How much time do I even have? And I think it's ridiculous that people on this board have the right to use whatever time they want against attack my family, myself, and then I have no right to defend myself, and I'm timed to do anything. What I do on this board is because I believe it's the right thing for the people. There is no politicalness. I don't have a political agenda. I have no donations. I'm not the one with all kinds of money in a donation coffer. I never asked anybody for any of that.
Oh, your
It's
time is
nonsense.
up, Diane.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Anyone else from the board care to comment? Bill? No? Thought you had something to say.
Not today.
I didn't have much to say, but I'm gonna start with the positive stuff before I guess I reply to that. First, I'd like to wish everyone that's in this room who's watching, my family, your families, happy Mother's Day this weekend. Hopefully you guys all get to spend time with your loved ones. And I want to thank Donna Framke and the marketing department for the amount of time that you guys have put into this breakfast for tomorrow for all our businesses. We were there today doing a sound check, and little things were off here and there, and Donna kept it together and pulled everyone in, and it was all taken care of. And huge thank you to Dan Fitzgerald in the Tinley Park Convention Center and Peter Dumont for working so closely with Donna for this breakfast. I think it's going to be beautiful tomorrow. I hope everyone can attend. Anyone from staff that can, hopefully you can attend. I know as of this morning, Clerk O'Connor and obviously myself and Trustee Brennan, you guys were the only ones to respond that you were coming, so thank you for coming tomorrow. I really appreciate that. And then, I guess, one other thing. I wanted to let everyone know it's been a 5-year struggle. Unfortunately, the case number is 17 L65067. This was a lawsuit from Stephen Eberhardt against most of all the elected officials, some staff members, a retired police sergeant for Vandenberg's appointment to hire him. It was finally thrown out. This order was filed under Supreme Court Rule 23 in the Appellate Court of Illinois, First Judicial District. The judgment of the Circuit Court of Cook County dismissing plaintiff's second amended complaint is affirmed. Plaintiff abandoned the second amended complaint when he filed a third amended complaint that he did not incorporate by reference or even refer to the allegations in the second amended complaint, and thereby forfeited review of any alleged errors concerning the prior complaint. So thank you to the staff and our attorneys that handled that case. His appointment is from former Mayor Vandenberg is now officially behind all of us. We just have, I think, 3 or 4 remaining ones left. And then I've been on the board 5 years. I think this is the first time I've witnessed any board member or even know of any board member abstaining from an appointment of a staff member. I apologize to you for that. To kind of echo what Nancy was saying and rebut what Diane was saying, the part that's embarrassing is I went to Jewel in the Southland Journal, who is on the newsstand. The Patch wrote on it, Richard Free Press wrote on it, comments from one of our elected officials, being Diane Galante, that as she states, with all her emails, she sent an email on April 14th asking questions of Brad Bentonhausen, and I was gonna discuss this just to defend him. And her quote to the papers was, "Patience, we will get back to you," and they didn't get back to me. His response to her was, "Patience, staff has been working on updating our budget document. We will advise when the revised document has been posted on the website." On April 15th, the full entire board and the community and anyone that has access to a computer received that answer when they posted, I believe it was on the 15th, Hannah, they posted any corrections or errors that had to be made. So it was one day later, so she did receive her answer, but still told the press that they didn't. That's kind of bothersome because Brad did his job. And then your comments about it being excluded is very frustrating because you were the finance chair for 2 years, Diane, prior to being in marketing. You know the process starts in November, and it goes for 6 months, all the way through until the board approves it in April or May, sometimes 6 to 7 months. You wait until the day of, before the budget meetings, and you send all these questions to them when they've already prepared everything. Hannah, the whole finance team, has worked their tail off prepping all this, and then last minute you throw questions at them and you expect them to just bend over backwards. That's not how it works. It's very unprofessional. You are very well aware of the process starting in November. And so therefore, this is why I asked the board to vote on it tonight. I'm glad you didn't abstain on the appointments of the committees, which you did on the staff. That's why I put you with the budget. So you cannot keep constantly crying wolf. You will be, now your role will be in the budget with them as they prepare it. So next year, we don't have to go through this. I don't want to see Brad or finance or Hannah or Pat of anyone being accused of anything. You received everything that we do. You know the process, and it's just shame that you keep just telling the same story. So I apologize to all the staff that has to endure that repetitive response and denial of wrongdoing. And the comments in regards to Nancy O'Connor, myself, and every other board member, there's not one board member that I'm aware of that has ever made one comment regarding Diane's family member breaking a window and entering a business until she keeps bringing it up and bringing it up. And this is the reason it keeps getting discussed. No one from this board has ever brought that up or posted publicly on Facebook. So I want to clear the air on that story that keeps getting thrown out. Other than that, unless anyone else from the board has any comments, I'll move on to the public. Nope. Next item is item 23, receive comments from the public. Anyone from the public care to comment? Item number 24, adjourn to executive I'd like to ask the board for a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following. A, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. Or B, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second? Oh, thank you, Bill. Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Roll call for item 24. Trustee Brady?
Yes.
Trustee Brennan?
Yes.
Trustee Galante?
Yes.
Trustee Mahoney?
Yes.
Trustee Mueller?
Yes.
Trustee Sullivan?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. We will not be returning, so thank you, everyone.